Hey everyone, and welcome back to the breakdown. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to download, install, set up. This is a complete guide to the Jobs Reborn plugin. This is an awesome plugin that allows you to add in jobs that pay your players for doing things like breaking blocks, placing blocks, killing, players, killing animals, killing mobs, and fishing in Minecraft. There's also a few more things that you can do. As you can see, these are all of the different actions that you can pay people for. Everything from breaking blocks, obviously, to, fishing, to crafting, smelting, brewing, enchanting, breeding animals, taming animals, all of that stuff. It's a lot that you can actually do and pay players for. We're going to be showing you the basics of the job setup so you can create your own jobs today. Here are all of the permissions for the jobs. And by the way, this link right here is the second link down below. This is the Jobs Reborn download page. And this is a very, very helpful page because it does give you the permissions for jobs, which you will need to set up as well. We're not going to be doing all of that in this video because they're all outlined here and what they do and all that stuff. But this is going to be kind of the basic overview. First and foremost, though, we do have our sponsor, which is Apex Minecraft Hosting. Go to the first link down below, thebreakdown.xyz/Apex, to start your very own 24-hour DDoS-Protected Minecraft server. We actually love and trust Apex so much that we host our own server, play.breakdowncraft.com on them. So if you want to start your very own Minecraft server, look no farther than Apex Minecraft Hosting. Again, you can check out Apex at the first link down below, thebreakdown.xyz/Apex. It's super easy to install plugins like Jobs Reborn on Apex. So nevertheless, here is the Jobs Reborn download page. This is the second link down below. Once you're here, click on download now, and it's going to download the most recent version, which is compatible from 1.7 all the way up through 1.16, all under one version. Very, very impressive, to be honest with you. Then we can go ahead, scroll down this page. As I said, here are all the different features. You have everything from daily quest to different leveling mechanics, money XP boost that are all in-game with permissions. And then we also have other stuff like all of the different actions. You can play players when they do that or do those actions. And then we do have also these, kind of signs, leaderboards that you can put up to show information in-game as well. So it is really, really cool and a really, really cool setup. We have all these permissions here. Most of these you actually aren't going to need to, some of these you aren't going to need to get everyone. For example, jobs.admin, you're going to give that to admins. The rest of them, you want to go through and kind of check them all out and see what they are and decide whether or not you want to give them players those on your server. There's an API with this plugin, which is really cool as well, meaning other plugins can hook into it. Speaking of other plugins, you do need some sort of an economy plugin and Vault to run Jobs Reborn. So we have Essentials X is going to be our economy plugin. This is linked in the description down below, but it's not a tutorial on Essentials X. You can find that tutorial here on our website. So nevertheless, go download that if you don't have it. And then we will need Vault as well, which is also linked down below. And again, just download it here and install it. Pretty simple stuff. Now, if we minimize our browser, I need to go ahead and keep Jobs Reborn in the bottom left. Forgot to do that. And now if we minimize our browser, we have jobs here on our desktop. Now, I already have a paper server set up and ready to run jobs. Let's go ahead and double click on that. And now we can install the jobs plugin in our plugins folder by just dragging and dropping it into the plugins folder. Simple as that. Now we go ahead and start our server right on up. Oh, it was Vault in there? Yes, Vault was in there. Okay, sorry. We go ahead and run our server, and then once the server starts up, we'll be able to jump in game and check out jobs in game. First, though, I actually want to talk about the config files, right? It's kind of interesting. Sometimes, usually I like to show stuff in game and then go into the config files, but that's not the case here. It seems like I'm already having an issue with my port. Hold on real quick. That's not related to jobs. That's just related to my Minecraft server. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a port issue there, and my port for basically my local IP address changed. But as you can see, we have everything starting up with jobs reloaded there. So yeah, we are now ready to go. So the server is now up and running, which means we can jump into our plugins file, and we have the jobs config. Now, here are all the jobs config. We run jobs on all of the servers on Breakdowncraft, and you can get really in-depth with a lot of the different stuff in here. But there's two main files that you will want to look at. The first one is the jobs config here, right? So the general config, and that's going to be right here, the general config.yml. The next one is going to be jobs up here, and these are going to be all the different jobs that you have on your server, basically. Right? These are all of the default ones, right? You have brewer, builder, crafter, digger, enchanter, explorer, farmer, fisherman, hunter, miner, none. Don't know what that one is. That one's odd. Weaponsmith and woodcutter, right? And you've also got the example up here at the top as well. So all of those are the jobs that are in games. I would recommend, though, starting off with the general config here. So we're going to open up that with my trusty text editor, Adam. You can use whatever text editor you want. There is no wrong answer when it comes to text editors, whatever you're most comfortable with. So you can set this up with SQL. I would recommend doing MySQL if you have it, because it's going to be a lot easier to load. And guess what? Data corruption is a lot less on SQL as well. And usually good servers are going to have SQL data rollbacks, right, without any problems. So it's really important if you can to use SQL. Otherwise, SQLite does work. But yeah, so you can change the save period and a bunch of different stuff in here. The best thing I like about this is it's all very well documented. So it's all documented in depth of what's going to do. As you can see, there's daily quest settings, when you want those to reset every 4 hours, how many minutes, all that stuff. Skips, all of that is in here. You can hide job info. You can do all this different stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff in here. Now, this is what's interesting I wanted to mention is the economy. How is this handled? Are they paid money, points, XP, or all three of them? By default, it's all three. Most of the servers you see are all three of these. But how do you want people to get paid for their jobs? Usually it's all these. You can also add in general multipliers here if you want to pay people more. Minimum overall payments. How much do you want to use before they get paid? Basically, it'll queue it up and then pay them like that. It's kind of all everything here is outlined, and that's what's great. I would recommend just reading through this, seeing what you want to change, seeing what you don't want to change, all of that stuff. It's too much for me to go through in a video like this, or we would be here forever. I mean, as simple as that. Even how MCMMO is handled by this stuff is outlined here. So, nevertheless, there is all of that information, and again, I would recommend going through here and setting all of this up. Now, one thing I do want to mention is the GUI. A lot of people do want to change the /jobs join GUI, and here's how you can do that. It is annoying. I do not like how this GUI is set up, but you can change the position of the back slots. You can change the amount of rows, the next button slot, the start button slot, how many skips, and how many jobs are grouped together. That all can be changed here. I hate how that's done. It makes it very, very difficult to configure that GUI, but it is what it is. You can also change your back button, next button, and filler buttons all right here. So yeah, that's kind of that, and honestly, that's the general config of jobs. Now, if you want to create a new job, what you do is you come in here to jobs, and then you would honestly copy the example, rename it, and create a new job. But if you do that, you're going to get something like this, right? So the name is going to be the name of the job. The short name is kind of like the abbreviation that you would use, 2 letters. What does the person earn doing the job? So what do they the description of the job, what is the job for, the chat display, all of this stuff. I really have never had much of any change of that. The max level of the job is important, which is how many levels someone can get working a job. And then you do have the level progression here. Now, I would recommend not messing with this too much. A lot of times it's put into this leveling progression, but if you do want to change how much money, points, or experience is, there is the equation for that. You can kind of work through it. Base income plus basic income times job level, all of that stuff. Basically, the higher the job level, the more a player gets paid. It's kind of simple there. Now, Rejoin Cooldown. After they leave a job, how long do they have to wait to join another job? How many daily quests can they do? And speaking of daily quest, here is a daily quest example. So Heavy Drinker is basically for the brewing job. And you can see brew glowstone dust 2, brew redstone 2, brew sugar 2. So you want to add all that. And then for that, they give these commands. It's going to be $100, and they're going to get a message saying that the quest is completed. Now you can see the reward description. That's what they're going to do. And I would add in a $sign there just for good measure, but we won't do that. Now, moving on from there, you have what they actually can get paid for doing this job. And that's when they brew netherwort, redstone, glowstone. All of these different items you can see are there. Now, if we go into something like the farmer job, that's going to be different. So most of this stuff up here is the same. The quest is different because obviously you're not brewing here. You're breeding, shearing, and milking of cows. But if you come down here, you can tame animals in the farmer job. You can breed animals in the farmer job. You can shear animals, being shearing sheep in the farmer job. You can milk cows, and you can actually farm. So you can break all of these different plants and get paid for doing that. You can also place all of these different plants and get paid for doing that. So when you're planting, right, with the place, or you're breaking blocks, which is harvesting, you're going to get paid, as well as all this other stuff in here, like shearing and milking cows and all of that. So farmer is a really good example. That's why I wanted to use that one after brewer, because it's a really good example. It even has, if you kill a player down here, you get some money for that as well, and some experience and all that stuff. So income, as you can see, this is literally $1 in game for breaking a mushroom, and that's per mushroom. You get $1. You also get 1 point and 1 experience, all in game from breaking that mushroom, right? That's kind of how that works. That is how that works. So you can create your own custom jobs, again, by kind of taking this template, and then you just rename it, and then you would get a custom job there. But I'm not going to be covering all of that in this video. We do have custom jobs on Breakdown Craft, and they take a while to create. But you're kind of just using these sample, or these things here, right? The brew and all that stuff. That's kind of what you're using to be able to do that. Now, what can you put here? Well, that's where we're going to come back over to here on the Jobs Reborn page, and this is all the different stuff you can put there. Fishing, killing, MythicMobs is a plugin integration it has, breaking things with TNT, enchanting things. Those are all the different things that you can enter in right here for actions that can be taken. So that's kind of where that's at, and that's where you can see that. And again, you do want to go through the general config as well as all these job configs and make sure everything works out. At this point, though, we can go ahead and jump in game, and I'll give you a little showcase of jobs in Minecraft. So let's go ahead and open up Minecraft 1.16.5, jump into this server, and show off jobs once we're there. So here we are in game in Minecraft on our server that we just created there to test out this plugin. So now, once you're in game, you're going to be able to do some different commands. Now, obviously, you'll need to give permissions for this, but I'm opt on this server, so I can, use these. So we want to do /jobs space join to be able to see all the jobs that we can join here. As you can see by default, we have fisherman, enchanter, hunter, miner, weaponsmith, builder, farmer, brewer, woodcutter, explorer, digger, and crafter, all right there. Now to join a job, as you can see, it says left click for more info, right click to join. So we're actually going to left click first, and you can see all the different stuff. If you fish as the fisherman job, you get paid for all of that, and if you kill a player, you get paid as well. For the enchanter job, you can see if you enchant those different weapons, you get all of that stuff. For the miner job, if you break all of these blocks, if you place different blocks. Now, one thing you will see, why is this telling us it's going to cost money if we place iron ore, gold ore, diamond ore, emerald ore? This is so the plugin, you can't basically duplicate items, right? Like mine a bunch of iron, place that iron, and then get paid back for it. This makes you lose money if you do that. Now, the plugin does have a system built in for this, but overall, adding these checks in makes it a lot more appealing or whatever. Basically, it's a fail-safe. If their check doesn't work for whatever reason with the plugin, which is supposed to block being able to place a block and then break it, this fixes that no matter what, because you're going to lose money, XP, all of that if you do it. And then we go back, we'll go click on one more, like the crafter job here. And as you can see, if you craft all of this different stuff, it does have that. There's also smelt cooked chicken for some reason. So now let's go ahead and join a job. We'll go ahead and join the miner job by right-clicking it, right like so. And we now, as you can see in chat, you have joined the miner job. Now you can join multiple jobs depending on your permissions. So if we go ahead and do the builder job as well, we can join that. So now, if we go ahead and start mining, which I'm going to set the time to day, and then let's go ahead and give ourselves a diamond pickaxe really fast. If we start mining, we will start getting paid for it. So let's go ahead into game mode survival, and let's start mining. So we go ahead and just break down here to the, what are you doing, skeleton? Okay, there we go. So anyway, if we go ahead and break down to, right here, the stone here, we will actually be able to start getting paid for this. So I don't know if granite gets us paid or not. I don't think, yes, it does. So as you can see, we are now getting paid for mining this granite as a miner job. And as we continue to build down here, we continue to earn some money from the miner job. And it's going to kind of build. As you can see, it paid us $6 there because it doesn't pay you with every single block you break. It's queuing that, and then it's going to pay you once you get that done. So we're already miner level 2, maximum levels of 200, and they do get harder to level up over time, so don't really worry too much about that, but you can increase your maximum level if you want. Obviously, we are mining cobble, though. Once we start mining ores and things like that, it is going to pay more, but I just wanted to give an example. So now if we go ahead and go up to the top here, we'll be able to place down this cobblestone and get paid with the builder job. So we just broke those blocks, and we got paid with the miner job. Now if we come up here and place them, right like so, I believe it's going to pay us for the builder job. There we go. So we are now builder level 2. We are placing these blocks, building ourselves like a little house, for example, out of all of the blocks we just mined, and we're getting paid to do it. So let's go right back around this side, and I don't know if granite is included here. It may be, it may not be, I don't know. But yeah, it is. There we go. So now we got some dirt here and then some diorite to finish it off. It doesn't look pretty, but it works. It's a house, and that's kind of that. So as you can see, there was a good example. So if I go in here and try to break this, it shouldn't necessarily pay us for that. So it is paying us for that, as you can see. That is kind of, the issue with that system I was talking about. Why it's important that you kind of have some checks in there if someone's a miner job and things like that. So nevertheless, though, if we place this and try to break it right away, it's going to say you have to wait for that. You can configure how many seconds someone has to wait in that general config file that we mentioned earlier. So make sure you go in there and do that if you don't want that to be longer. We do that on Breakdown Craft and actually set it to, I think, a decent amount of time. I don't want to say exactly what it is, but I think it's a few minutes at the very least. So there you have that. That's how you can kind of set all of that up. And that's kind of the general overview of jobs. If you do /jobs help in game, it's going to show you kind of all of the information. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. For example, you can do /jobs info and then do like brewer, and it's going to list out in chat all the different things that you can do with a job. You can also do things like /jobs quest and see all the different quests a specific player has for their jobs. As you can see, I'm almost completed this one, and I'm still working on that one. So you can see all that stuff. That's really cool as an admin. But there's just so many different commands. If you want to get to the next page, you do jobs help 2. That's going to take you to the second page, so on and so forth. If you want to see the stats of a player, you can do that with that command there. As you can see, I'm level 3 for both of my jobs. And if you want to see jobs top, which is going to give you a jobs leaderboard, you can do that. For example, miner, there I am in first place. And if we do something like brewer or digger, you can see there, no information because there is no people in that job. So that's kind of that. That's the overview. You can go through all of these different commands if you want, but most of them you're going to be used. We've actually already went through in this. Now there is a jobs shop should you want to configure it. As you can see, there is some stuff in here by default, and this is actually different for all the different jobs you have. So you want to go in there and do that, you can, or you can make it different. It doesn't have to be. So that is pretty cool as well. You can also do, for example, jobs help 3, and we can come in here and see some of the other different stuff. Oh, sorry, jobs help 4. We can see some of the other stuff. If you want to leave a job, you can do /jobs leave and then the name of the job. We'll go ahead and leave the builder job. Or if you want to leave all of the jobs, you can do jobs leave all as one word and do that. You can see the logs. You can see the jobs level of specific players if you want, including add levels to those players. So let's say for whatever reason you want to add levels or take away levels from a player, you can do that with /jobs level. And then you want to do the username of the player, whatever job you want to take away, for example, miner in my case, and then actually want to add 3 levels to me. So boom, there we go. We have now added 3 levels. Now if we want to take those away, we can do take 3 levels back, and it will remove those 3 levels. And then you can obviously set it. So if I wanted to set myself to like level 30 miner, I can do that. So that's all cool there. Now let's go ahead and check out the 5th page. I'm just trying to hit some of the, more important ones here. That way everybody kind of has an overview of what the more important ones are. There's nothing really much that we want to do there that I would ever see really using in a big way in game. On the 6th page, same thing here. There's not really much you can do there. If you do want to remove a player from a job, you can do /jobs fire username job name, and that'll fire a player from a job and remove them. You can only do that if you're an admin, obviously. And then we do have grant XP. You can fire all, which is remove all players from a job. And then we can also come down through here. If you want to do an XP boost, you can do that in game with the command, or you can do that with a permission. So if we want to do XP boost for, let's see, myself in the miner job, and let's go ahead and let's see, what would it be? I'm going to do 2 hours 2 times. There we go. Did that work? I don't know exactly. I don't know if that exactly was what I was wanting it to do, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And now we go ahead and check out jobs help 8. This is going to be the last jobs commands, and there's nothing really there. If you do make jobs changes, you can reload with /jobs reload, and it will reload the plugin for you. So that's that. That's kind of the general overview of jobs. I'm sorry it was, it was a little haphazard in the regards of there's just a lot with this plugin, and I wanted to give you the overview of what you would like to need and how to get more information on the plugin page if you do want it. But that's kind of jobs. It's a really, really cool plugin. Custom jobs can be a great way to set your server apart, but even the default jobs are very, very cool and very, very worth checking out. Again, my name is Nick, though. This has been The Breakdown. Enjoy the Jobs Reborn plugin. If you did enjoy this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content every single day of the week on Minecraft servers and Minecraft in general. And I'm out. Peace.